We are back with you now on Wave Listens Live. Of course, we are doing our fall takeover show with Huber's Orchard and Winery and Starlight Distillery. We have moved over to the seats area. We're going to do a little cocktail discussion here and all the great ways that you can experience the distillery when you're out this fall. So let's talk about some of the things, Lisa Kruger back with us here for the next two segments, that you've brought with you here today. You were mixing up some cocktails in the commercial break. They look fantastic.
Yeah, right? So fall is for some customers, it's their favorite time of year because we release certain things that you can only get in the fall.
So they're waiting for this.
They're hanging around. Oh, when is it available? When is it available? And guess what? It's available.
Now's the time.
Now's the time. So one of those things is our spiced apple wine. This is apple wine that actually has been included with mulling spices. So it has all those great flavors of fall in it. It's terrific chilled, but it's also good warmed.
Okay.
Sort of like a hot toddy,
yeah.
like its own little hot toddy. And then we have our Orchard Frost, which is like an apple ice wine. So it's very sweet. It's a little stronger than table wine.
Okay.
Maybe for sipping in between courses or at the end of the course. And just the same, it has those lovely apple flavors. It just feels like fall when you sip on it.
When you talk about these items that are only available during certain seasons, the people that are waiting for this probably know the answer already, but for those that are saying, oh, you know what, I need to do that this year, are these items that end up selling out because there's only a certain amount of them made?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you want either of these, come now.
Get on it, basically.
Right. Depending on the visitation that we have throughout September and October, they're sometimes gone before we even get to October.
Oh, wow.
And so those folks make their annual trip out to come with the family October 10th, and no more spiced apple wine. So if you want it, come get it now. There are a few local places around that you can pick up a bottle or two if you can't make it to the farm, but definitely if you're going to make a visit to it, make it sooner rather than later.
Just keep it, handy,
it's
because you never know who's going.
Buy an extra bottle.
Right, who's going to need it?
Yeah.
You guys do the spirits tours and the tastings. That's something we can do every day.
Yes.
You don't have to wait for the weekend for that.
True story. Now we do a little twist on it in the fall, though. So starting last weekend, we have expanded our areas for tastings. Typically, you go up to our tasting loft, or you can take a tour and walk down through to the still house. Now you can still do the still house, but the most fun tasting area right now is our lakeside tasting tent. It is a massive, I want to say, 40 by 80. It's huge, right by our lake. It has its own food truck down there, their own music down there, because it's set farther away from all of the rest of the hustle and bustle. You can taste wine or spirits there, walk up to the little red wagon that's up there, buy yourself a ticket, and head over and do a tasting. Our Starlight Bourbon Bar is down there as well. It's a great little elevated experience. You walk away with a little cocktail in a souvenir embossed glass, but a little more farm integrated when you get to stand in the great outdoors.
Of course, but it's nice too that we talk about that there are options available every day, because some people don't want to wait till the weekends. They're thinking, gosh, I need something fun and exciting and fall feeling to break up sometimes what can be the monotony of a long week. This might be the perfect way to do it. Get out of town for a little bit, especially if you're coming from Louisville.
Yes, so lots and lots of fun things to do all week long for sure. And like we discussed earlier, that's a great time to come if you want to avoid the crowds. Now certain things like the music on the weekends and the food trucks, those things are only available on the weekends, but there's plenty to do anytime you're there. We'll find something for you.
Let's talk, you had mentioned the limited edition Fall Harvest souvenir glass. Is that also something that limited supplies on these?
Oh yes,
and
that will definitely be gone before October is ended.
Okay.
So for the past, I want to say 18 years, although it might be going on 20, we have issued a limited edition glass. We change the design every year, and we have guests that have collected it from the very beginning, and they'll send us pictures, or they'll tell us, oh, I have them all on my bar at home.
Next to the Derby Julep glasses.
Next to the Derby Julep glasses, exactly. So it's kind of an iconic thing that they all want to collect and have and keep.
We just set some new collectors out on a hunt for some of the older ones now.
Oh, right, exactly.
Gotta make sure you can find the last 18 years. Speaking of things that you can do out there, I want to talk about the new Fill Your Own Bottle experience. This is now available.
Yes, this is huge and so much fun. So you can come to the distillery and purchase the tour and go and do the tour, and at the end of of the tour, you fill your own bottle of bourbon.
So you've decided this is the one I want.
mean,
Yeah.
this is it. I'm going to fill this bottle. You can cork it, put your label on it where you have written the date, so you know exactly when it was. I just did this weekend. Our son got married on Saturday, and so we bottled a bottle of bourbon for him the day of the wedding, so they'll have that for their first-year anniversary to drink. And it's a fantastic way to really elevate that ordinary tour and taste experience and get yourself a souvenir on the way.
What a cool experience too if you have any out-of-town guests who are coming and you think of, well, I know I want to take them out to Huber's. This gives them something that, hey, this is a little different. This is not something you can do everywhere.
Well, and speaking of out-of-town guests, if you've got people coming in and maybe they're not always going to make it to the farm, but you want to bring a little bit of farm to them, there are all kinds of things you can come pick up, take home, put in your own home bar. We've got a couple special distilled products this year. So this one was just released. This is our Carl T. Huber's, our breast cancer awareness bottle. We do this every year. Dana Huber picks it herself. That is still available.
Okay, good to know.
In limited quantities in our retail.
As of this show.
As of this show,
Right.
as of right now. Don't hold me to it. And then our Blood Moon batch, Bloody Butcher corn bourbon, is also just been released and is available in our retail space as well. It has kind of a fun sort of fall angle to it. We make it with our Bloody Butcher corn.
Which is so cool, unique to this area.
Right, and it has got that high starch in it, so it has a very nice caramelly, complex flavor to it, and both of those are available. And if you're feeling kind of frisky, pick up a bourbon slush mix or a brand new blackberry whiskey lemonade slush.
I haven't seen that one before.
This is new, and it is, we can't keep it on the shelves. All you need is a bottle of our blackberry whiskey and some lemonade. You pour it in there, seal it up, throw it in your freezer, take it out, put it in a pitcher. It'll be gone in no time. Your friends will love it.
Look at that.
Yeah.
So we've got ways you can enjoy cocktails out on the farm and when you get back home. Okay, speaking of things that we want to make sure that you get to enjoy, we've got one more segment to go with Huber's Orchard and Winery. But next we're going to talk a bit about the delicious fall treats that you can find. I have seen them on the table. They look fantastic. We will fill you in after this short break.
Put on your purple, Louisville, and join Wave News at the Walk to End Alzheimer's on October 19th at Slugger Field. Register